Hey you guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to the final session of the self-esteem series. Yes, I know I surprised you there, Pastor Martin. This is the final session of the self-esteem series. This series has been really good for me. I think it's been very helpful to anyone who needs this information. It has been very jam-packed with a lot of information and just help for people that are out there who need it. Today, we are here for familiar face. You all know Pastor Martin by now. Welcome back, Pastor Martin. And today, for the final session, we're going to be talking about self-esteem in leadership. I thought that Pastor Martin was the most appropriate person for this discussion because he has so many caps, right? He wears so many caps. But let's just get right into it. Welcome back, Pastor Martin.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I'm guessing we are coming out at a bang.
Yes, most definitely, as always. So let's just go right into it. Let's talk
Sure.
about self-esteem in leadership. Why is it important? Why does a leader need to have a good self-esteem?
Um, that's a really good topic to touch on. And the whole purpose of it, I think many of the other speakers before, as they build on the foundation of what self-esteem is, um, that person who is now confident in themselves could now properly lead others. But with someone that does not have a good self-esteem, there is always jealousy in play. You always feel the need that you must have the spotlight. There's a level of insecurity where you always want to be liked, so you can't even make the type of decisions necessary. So there is a multiplicity of things that could happen if a leader doesn't have a good self-esteem. So we have the leader who wants to be liked by everyone, so they never make any kind of crucial decisions. We have the leader who needs to feel that level of power and authority. So no one else has an option, no opinion. It's what I say go. We have the leader who always wants to, they need that praise. So if I didn't come up with the idea, then the idea cannot go forward. So on any type of extreme we see it, for me, in order to have a balanced leader, that leader must have a good self-esteem and be comfortable in their own skin.
I love that subtle statement. And then obviously questions are shooting to my mind.
Yeah.
So someone could come with the argument that, this person, because I'm going based on what you said a while ago, right? This person that is being that type of leader is just using a different type of leadership. There are different leadership styles, authoritative, more laissez-faire, or whatever the case may be. Do you think that this person is adopting a type of leadership, or would it just affect any type of leadership really?
Okay, so first we could say that one of the extremes for probably a laissez-faire leader or a leader that is very that one that always that needs to be in charge. Yeah, we could say that on either extreme, self-esteem may come into play. Yeah, what you want in any type of scenario is balance. I believe that any extreme could cause challenges and issues. So it would self-esteem could be a part of the problem with that type of leader. It does not have to be the problem, but it could be a contributing factor. Yeah. So you really want a balanced leader who is able now to basically shift when the need arises.
Thank you so much for that. You answered that question and you brought out the information I wanted to touch on. So let's talk about now. We're gonna go straight into the dangers of having a leader having a low self-esteem, and I want you to sort of break it down for me. I want you to use examples. For example, a husband, because a husband is a leader in his home.
Right,
What
right.
are the dangers of this husband having a bad self-esteem? How does it affect the family? Let's talk about the pastor. You wear the pastor's cap.
Now,
What what are the dangers of a pastor having a low self-esteem, and how will it affect his congregation? Let's just bring it home for everyone.
okay, well, seeing that you have put us into that circle, I'll just do it based on the home, I'll do it based on the church, and I'll do it based in work. So we put in the husband there. One of the dangers with self-esteem with the husband is that it could be a cause now for abuse or oppression in the relationship. So I'm looking strictly within the context now of fear that the wife now would step out. So when you have a low self-esteem, when you are not sure about yourself, then everything becomes a threat. So with that now, because I need security, I prevent or I block my wife from developing, from progressing education. While you're doing that, you'll go and look for a man. While you're going to school, you're going and look for a man. You know, basic stuff that she might want to do in leisure time, going out and stuff like that, feeling a level of insecurity. So that could really be it could really be a toxic environment for a spouse, for a wife who has to live in the house with someone who has low self-esteem because they use you as a crutch to basically massage their ego and to make them feel better about themselves, which could be too much work on a woman. Yeah. Second, we coming into church. Now, with a pastor with a low self-esteem, again, it could go from either extreme. It could go now to this place where no initiative could happen within the church unless he is the one that sanctions it or he's spearheading it because he needs that level of validation. Also, that level of unsurety about self or low self-esteem could manifest itself now into not wanting other young men to come up within the church because you believe that, hey, people might like them more than me and overthrow me. Example, Saul and David. Yeah, so we saw what was going on there with him. It could also go into the context of he wants to be overly liked. So when the brethren say, hey, Pastor, I don't like what you do there, I don't like that, why the church has this rule, that hits him to his core and he automatically assumes that by me standing to a standard means that they do not like me as the person. Yeah? So he compromises. He compromises. So we see across the board how that could be a danger zone for a minister who has to stand true on the word of God. And now in work, we work and the pastor and the boss in work kind of have similar roles and functions. So with that boss or that person in work who has a low self-esteem, we could see also where anything goes, there's no kind of structure order in that department because I'm trying to please everyone and I want everyone to like me. Or we have that boss who, listen, whenever something happens, you need to give me that praise because I need that to feel good. Danger zone.
Danger zone indeed. I want to talk a little bit about when you spoke about. I just want to just really touch there and run.
Sure.
The pastor, the dangers of that. I could see that a pastor could lose his salvation over this because he is responsible for the flock. And then when you look at the severe punishment that Saul received for just his disobedience or whatever, like you could like just really put yourself in a dangerous place just as a result of low self-esteem. Now, we never want to believe anything gloom and doom. I don't like gloom and doom. Let's offer let's offer solutions. Let's offer help. How could, and usually people in leadership positions are usually the one that people look up to for help. They always expect them to help. But how do these people get help? What could you say to this leader in terms of how to maintain a good self-esteem? Because I think there are tough days. Everybody
Yeah.
has a tough day. But how do you maintain a good self-esteem? And if you if you could identify like that you have a low self-esteem, how do you build up from that?
I love it. I love it. Now I'm going to say something where most persons in the Caribbean don't like to hear. We think of it as a curse word, but we are Christian people, so no, we're not using expletives. But get counseling. Get counseling and seek help. We don't like to hear this, even within the church. We believe counseling means that you don't have faith in God, but that is totally not the truth. Yeah. So even as leaders, because you want your leader, whoever is at the helm, to be holistically whole, mentally, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. So seek help. Also, you want to be able to have a confidant or someone who could check you and tell you, be real with you, and that you know that they have your best interest at heart. Because sometimes as leaders, one of the challenges is sometimes persons will tell you things for their best interest, or in order to break you, or in order to find a crack in your armor. So you want to be able to have a confidant or someone that you could trust who could come to you and say, hey, I recognize that this is happening and you need to, get yourself strengthened it. Also, speak empowering words to yourself. Yeah, as Bible believers, there are numerous scriptures that you could speak now to deposit positivity in your life. You would be surprised how much positive talk and speaking the word of God could change the trajectory of your mind. Yeah. So getting the habit of positive self-talk. That is why Peter had to remind the people that you are a royal priesthood, a chosen generation. You understand? Recognize who you are. And also, a level of mental fatigue could cause that as well. So, something that we like to talk about in the profession, we say self-care. A level of self-care is needed so that for someone who has struggled with self-esteem and is in a leadership position, mental fatigue could cause you to digress and begin now to second guess yourself and feel a type of way. So recognize when you are having a level of burnout and put things in place now to rejuvenate your mind, your body, and your spirit.
Thank you very, very much. I think it's important that we covered that because I think leadership is so important in that it affects other people's lives. So it's not just this one person. I mean, so far the series has been targeting a person, but I think when you target a leader, you target a whole lot of people at one time because it just really just goes down. So thank you so much. Are there any other last words that you want to add? Anything else that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I just like to I felt something there in terms of reinforcing that we should seek help. Yeah, many times we have this concept that we could fix it on our own. Within the Caribbean, we have a don't tell nobody a business type of mentality. But the reality is that a lot of us are struggling with self-esteem. We are still struggling with depression. We are struggling with anxiety. And it's really taking us out even in the midst of this pandemic period. So I want to advocate to all your viewers on Nicola Land that seeking help is healthy. Yeah?
Thank you so much for that. Thank you for these last words. And I thank you for reminding me because this takes me right into introducing our next topic that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about we're going to be talking, sorry, I'm still stuck on self-esteem. We're going to be talking about anxiety and depression in our next.
Wow. Flesh and blood didn't reveal it.
And of course, Pastor Dominic has done the great reveal. So yes, definitely viewers, stay tuned for that. We are going to target that. I think it's important. It falls right in line with self-esteem. I think it's a good addition. I hope I continue to get your support. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Leave a comment. We are so grateful that you come and you support that you will share this link. Bye.